We missed you. Thanks so much for ordering this week, and thanks for letting us be a part of a special holiday celebration with you and your family. We've got a beautiful lineup for you tonight. It's going to be super easy to make. And yeah, so why don't we go ahead and get started? I've jumped ahead a little bit. You want to preheat your oven to 425 degrees, or if you're like me with a convection oven, 400, because the convection always adds a little bit of temperature there. And on a baking sheet with some parchment paper, you want to put your turkey breast down. So it's one turkey breast for two people. And the stuffing. The stuffing is really interesting this year. It's kind of a stuffing bread pudding. I tasted it today. It's so delicious. You're going to love it. But very easy to do. Just plop it right there on the baking sheet with the parchment paper, throw it in the oven for 20 minutes. I've done that about 6-7 minutes ago now, so that we can easily do the rest of this and get going. I've also gone ahead and put our butternut squash soup in a pot over medium heat, and we're just gonna bubble it away until it gets to a nice warm temperature. I've also got the gravy going on, and that's at a low to medium heat. And again, you want to bubble it away, and super easy. So next up, we're going to preheat a pan to medium-high heat. You're going to use a neutral cooking oil, so grapeseed or canola oil. I know there's a lot of stuff out there about seed oils these days, but grapeseed oil is really great. Canola oil, if you're going out shopping, try to get what they call a first press canola oil. And it's basically done so that it's not heated up to a very high temperature when it's made, so it doesn't become a trans fat. I've learned about this a lot lately. So, but again, grapeseed oil, very neutral. We're going to do 1 tablespoon per person in your fry pan with the veg. So tonight, usually I'm cooking for 2, which then gets split into 3. But tonight I'm doing something a little bit different because some of you may have seen me on CTV Morning tomorrow, but I need to bring, they don't have real cooking facilities there, so I basically have to do up a 3rd portion to be able to bring along for the show. So if you saw this on CTV live in the morning on Wednesday and you ordered your meal kit, one of the last ones, thank you, but yours is going to look a little bit better because I'm finishing it off tonight, and then we're just going to reheat it in a microwave tomorrow. Shh, don't tell anyone. The miracles of TV. Okay, once the pan gets medium hot, we're going to do both the mushrooms and the Brussels sprouts in one. So the first thing you want to do is try to get the Brussels sprouts face down. So maybe get some tongs ready, because when you're going to drop them all in, you want to try to get the cut side down so it gets a nice little brownness on it. So I'm going to do that first, and then I'm going to throw the mushrooms in around it. If the Brussels sprout petals fall off, you can either put them in and to have them nice and crispy, or you can just have them fall away, because they will be more cooked, obviously, than the rest of the Brussels sprouts. Okay, so once we get these down, put the oil around so that it's a little more even, and then the mushrooms can go right in there. Wonderful. And spread them around a little bit. It's been a while since we did one of these. I think Father's Day was the last one, so it's definitely been a while. So for all of you regulars out there, I miss you, and thanks for ordering. So while that's about 2 to 3 minutes, we're going to get a nice sear on the Brussels sprouts, so I can tell you about the wines for those smart enough to order the wine pairing suggestions. So we've got a 2027 vineyard. It's always confusing. I don't know why they call it 2027, but the vintage is 2020, and this is the Grimsby Vineyard Chardonnay, and we were able to get some of this back vintage. It's really delicious. So 2000 was an extraordinary year in Niagara, and no oak on this, but it's got a richness and a minerality to it. It goes great with butternut squash soup. All right, so let's check out and see if we've got a nice little crisp. We sure do. I might even turn the heat down a little bit. and we're gonna saute this around for a few minutes, about 4 to 5 minutes in total, and then we're gonna add some butter and the carrots. In the meantime, I'm just gonna stir this, make sure it doesn't get a film on top, but it's nice and hot. The gravy is really going, so I'm gonna turn that down a little bit in temperature. Now, our gravy doesn't have like, cornstarch or any thickeners. So we make a bone broth out of the chicken, out of the cage that the breasts are attached to, and that is what is there. So really dense, gelatinous. So when I opened this puppy up today, it was almost a little bit like Jello. So you may expect that, and that's a good thing. It means it has an all-natural gelatin to it. All right, this is coming along nicely. That's coming along nicely. So I think the next thing to do maybe is to plate our dessert. Here, let's bring it over here. Hopefully you can see this. So one thing that's going to be a little bit different than for you than me is that Gina, our fabulous pastry chef, actually, she didn't follow the instructions and she piped all of the chantilly. It doesn't travel well with this, which is why we serve it separately. And same thing with the sun-dried cranberries. So she did it all for me. I literally take it out of the box and put it here. Yours won't be like that because I had to carry this really gently. So here we have the beautiful pecan pie. I'm the biggest fan of pecan pie. I grew up with this as special occasion food. Oh, make sure I give this a little stir. And done with the maple chantilly and the sun-dried cranberries because we need cranberries for Thanksgiving. So put that aside, and I'm actually going to bring this other portion because my wife and I do not need 2 portions of dessert tonight. So I'm going to bring this to CTV tomorrow so that they can have some. So the mushrooms need to let off some of their water, so that's why we're going to hit it with a little salt now. And let's add the pepper. Keeping an eye on the clock. We are getting close, so why don't we add our butter now? So in my case I'm doing veg for 3, so 3, I got some chantilly there. 3 tablespoons of butter. Unsalted butter is the best because you know how much salt is in there and then you don't have to add extra salt. Or when you add extra salt that you know that you're seasoning it properly. All right, so that's looking good. And we can add our carrots at the same time. So these are these beautiful heirloom carrots that have already been steamed and roasted. And they're going to be warming up in there very nicely. All the beautiful fall colors, even though it's not really fall yet. I mean, there's so much sunshine and warmth still. My wife and I went to PEI this last weekend, had a blast. By the way, if you're ever out there, please do yourself a huge favor and go and check out Michael Smith's restaurant, Feast, at the Inn at Bay Fortune. He actually came to help us open the original Beckta 21 years ago. But boy, I've never been to eat his cooking, and it was something incredible. So you start with a feast, first of all, a tour of the farm, and then a feast out in the field, and then you come in for this incredible family-style meal. And anyway, it's incredible. But it closes October 12th for the season, and so make sure to hook up a reservation next year sometime because it is really incredible. Okay, so our soup's looking good. While the veg is warming up, let's go ahead and plate the soup. So the chef said that you shouldn't need to season this. It's up to you. We're going to go a little bit light on the seasoning, but if you feel like that needs a little salt and pepper, go for it and do it to your individual taste. They sent me with a lot because they know how much I love the butternut squash soup and how I'm going to probably eat it for lunch tomorrow. Okay, now we've got a squash agrodolce, which is kind of, agrodolce means sweet and sour, and it gives a really nice texture to the soup. but also that sweet sour component that makes it so nice. And that's why hopefully you're ordering from us and not from Farm Boy. Farm Boy is awesome, but I think we give it a little extra panache. The veg is looking really good, by the way. Okay, need another little teaspoon, because then we've got the feta, and this gives it a really nice acidic bite as well. Everything's about balance. You want to do some sweetness, you want to do some acid, you want to do a little bit of bitterness. The earthiness really comes out nicely in the butternut squash. So it's about 1 ounce per person. You can choose as much or as little as you would like. We'll see which one is more Instagrammable, because we're going to send this out to sell our last few meal kits for the week. I thought it was going to be the other one, but it might be this guy. All right. Oh, the veg is looking really nice. It's got a nice little crust going on. So I'm going to turn that down to low. I'm going to make sure our gravy is nice and warm. Some paper towel to wipe the counter. I'm a little out of practice. I used to do this like twice a week during the pandemic. And now, less so. Special occasions only. I actually miss it a lot. Okay, so there's our beautiful butternut squash soup with the squash agrodolce and the feta. All right. I'm so used to plating for 2, and I got a plate for 3 tonight. Okay, so I'm going to pull out some trivets to get our turkey and stuffing ready to go. Got these tongs, why not use them again? Tomorrow's show on CTV is all about stuffing, so I'm going to give them the big one. And where did my knife go? There we go. So here, I'm going to move the wine so you can see me a little bit more. So our turkey breast has been brined and roasted. So it's shrunk in size already. And you want to sort of cut it on the bias, and you want to cut it against the grain. So basically the widthwise instead of the lengthwise. And it's 2 portions per breast. At first you're like, wait a minute, shouldn't we have 1 per person? Trust me, the finished product is over 6 ounces per person finished. You don't want more than that. But of course, each breast serves 2 people. So I needed to get 2 breasts in order to serve 3 people. So my wife is going to enjoy some leftovers tomorrow. Now, like the soup, it shouldn't really need any more seasoning. It's been brined, so it's already a little salty. So I'm not going to season it extra, but you guys taste it and you decide whether or not you feel like you need to season it more. Don't forget to turn off the oven, which I usually do. Now, let's see if I can plate this up beautifully. I like to do the carrots first. All right. And then we can pile the veg on top. I love cremini mushrooms. I also love Brussels sprouts when they're in season, which is right now. And by the way, I didn't tell you about the red wine. So this is Nicholas Pierce, who is not only a wine negociant and winemaker. So negociant means that he buys wine from around the world, but he makes wine from vineyards that he loves around the world. And this particular one is from a special parcel in Niagara. And they call it the Cru Sauvage. So they do a wild ferment, a sauvage. So it's naturally fermented with the indigenous yeasts. If there's a little extra butter in there, make sure to get it because it's tasty. Turn that off. Now we've got the turkey. Put it right there on the veg. Spread it out a little bit. And if you've got the end piece there, you can just turn it around. Yeah, I think that's going to be my Instagram page. My wife has a slightly smaller, like half size portion to me. And this guy will be our little CTV one. I think hopefully it holds up nicely overnight and then warmed up in the microwave. Probably won't taste very good, but hopefully it'll look good tomorrow. And then that's my wife's leftover. All right, so gravy, and then we are done. Definitely on the turkey. Oh, and the stuffing. Gotta have some gravy on the stuffing. Oh, do not want a gravy, that guy, tonight, because I'm going to be microwaving it tomorrow, and I'll warm up the gravy so that the display piece is there. In the meantime, I want to make sure to get gravy on this guy. And that was one good looking dish. So there we are, our brined and roasted turkey breast done with the cremini mushrooms, the heirloom carrots, the bread pudding type stuffing, and our lovely homemade gravy. Hey, thanks for ordering. Thanks for letting us be a part of your special Thanksgiving celebration. It means the world to me and to us, and I really hope you enjoy your meal. Thank you very much.